Holy screwdrivers, there's a lot of them here. But don't worry, we're gonna take a lot of these away and we're just gonna get down to the basics. And then at the end, I think we're gonna go over fit and finish for each one and different types. But anyways, first of all, these awls are not screwdrivers, and you are absolutely right, but they are real handy for just opening up holes or lining up holes to get the screws in. So I just wanted to touch on them real quick. These next ones are just basic. I actually got this in a package from Amazon, and this is again kind of the same thing. I'm not gonna go over these too much. They're very basic. Next, I'm just actually gonna jump all the way over to these. These 5 right here are actually, they have a plastic coating on them. They're specifically for electricians, so I'm not gonna get into them. They are expensive if you look them up. The next set I wanted to go over is this just little quick set. I've seen these, I don't know where to get them. Kind of handy. I'm not gonna go over it too much. It kind of just does that. And I'll do videos on all the rest of this stuff if you're interested. The next I wanted to go over quickly was these jeweler's screwdrivers. They're the same thing as all the rest of them, just itty bitty and tiny, and this does all that. A bunch of fancy stuff and a lot of this. Again, I'm not gonna go over it. I'll do a separate video on these. Let's just get these out of the way. The next ones I want to quickly go over are these two. These are mainly electricians' tools, but I found them so much handier than everything else. 11-in-1s, 13-in-1s, and all they are is different tips. Switch around, and again, I'll do a whole video on these. These deserve a whole video, so I will. The next thing I want to get rid of is these two. This one's a little older. It's just going to kind of be longer. This one, I'm going to be honest with you. I use it more as a pry bar than a Phillips head, but that's a secret between you and me because I know this hard plastic can handle it, but I still use it a lot. Okay, let's keep going. I want to get onto these Klein ones. This is also another 11-in-1. This is a little bit different. These have actual bits, and I'm going to do several videos on bits. Same thing, just a stubby. Okay, I'm going to get these Kleins out of here. And then just the stubby in general. Just hand size for those tiny little spots. I prefer something like this if I can, but they have stubbies for both. They're very useful. Now, let's go over all of these. These are what I would consider, these are 2 different sets. The manufacturers, I don't want to go over. It's not important. That's not what I want to get into. But these are 2 sets that I have purchased from different people. They both have different things that they are useful for and why. As you can see, these you're probably going to see in almost every garage in town. These are a little bit more specific. They have a little bit more of an ergonomic handle. As I'll point out later, they have the magnetic tips. I don't know if you can see that. And that's going to be kind of the difference in the price. But 2 of the main things that I want to show you real quickly. Some of the features between the 2 of these I wanted to point out. For one, if you're finding your hand is slipping or whatever the case may be, these are actually fit to put a wrench on here and give you a little bit more torque if you need it. And that's what that's designed for right there. The other thing you can do with this specific brand is you can stick another screwdriver in there and give you a little bit of leverage if you needed. Now let's get into these this Craftsman. That's what they are. Let's get into it, because what I really like about these, you can kind of see some are rounded, some have the same thing. But what I really like about it is right here, it says on there 5/16. What is that? 5/16. Is that that? Is that that? Well, what that is the same thing. We got our 5/16. And we're going to put it right on there. And we're going to get our torque that way for this one. Let me turn that around a little better. And that's how we're going to get our torque. If that's not possible, let me see if I grab the right one, the correct one. If that's not possible, and this is going to be overkill, and I know it is, but it has a socket. Nope, not the right one. Let's grab that one. And you can fit it on the socket, and you can get some torque that way. Again, this is a 1/2-inch drive. This is super overkill, but if you needed to, you could. And that's one of the great features about Craftsman, and that's one of the reasons you'll probably see them in every garage in America, or something of it. If somebody has their old grandpa's tools, or dad's, or however old you are, it's not my place. But anyways, so I just wanted to go over a couple of those quick things real quick. And now I want to show you what we're doing here. And I'm gonna kind of reset this up and see what are all these for? Why there's so many? We're gonna get into that next. This looks to be the best way I can show you how each of these is gonna work. I'm going to show you how each screwdriver fits in, and we're going to go down the line getting bigger through the Phillips, flathead, and then some specialties. All right, let's get to it. All right, so with this first one, and this is zoomed in quite a bit, so if it's shaky, I apologize. It's just to show you how these fit. See how that fits in there? It's a hair movable, which is generally not ideal, but this is so small. I'm doing this with 2 fingers. But anyway, let's move along. So if you kind of fit it in there, it fits, but it's really loose. We don't want to use that one. I'm going to go to the next one. Fits much, much better. And if you want that quick comparison, I can show you the size. See? All right, so on to the next one. Slide that down here. So this one fits in really good. I like the snugness of that. Again, this one fits okay. And you can see that if you compare the two of them, and it's just a hair bigger. Which brings me to the next one, which fits into here quite nicely. It fits in okay. Ooh, see? It's a good fit. But I like the way this one fits in there better than that one. But moving on to this next big guy. Slide it down so you can see the big guy. Big guy right there. That fits that real good. Whereas this one, it's okay. Much better, especially when you get the right angle. I have 2 more big ones I wanted to show you real quick for this really big guy, and that comparison between the 2 of them. Much, much bigger. You can see that kind of fits in better. Anyways, moving along to the flatheads. Now, I'm not a fan of the flatheads. They slide a lot. They do a lot of stuff, so at any time, I prefer to do anything but a flathead. But it's not always possible, so the first thing you want to think of is a small one. Oh, a little small guy. That's not in there the greatest. So you want to move it up just a little bit, and that's going to fit in there much, much better. Put a little pressure on it, and it'll spin. And so again, you think for the next one, it's not that good. So again, we're going to bump it up, and if I didn't show you, let me show you back up a second. Show you the differences in that one, and then the next one we're going to use. You can just see it's a bigger, fatter blade. You can kind of see that. There we go. We're going to put that one on here. Fits much better. And even on that one, that fit is much better. You could even back it down to that one. Let's move on to the specialty ones. Let's move these out of the way real quick. Oh, one more thing. I did want to show you these. Just how the fit in each of them is different. If you take this, kind of put that in there, you can kind of see how it's turning. It's loose. It's not that great. If we grab this slightly bigger one, it's not the right size, a slightly bigger one. So this is indeed the right size. I don't like it though. That's much better. Yep, much better. Fits in there much better. Okay. Kind of see how there's nothing there and it's all the way in there and it's turning it. All right, let's move on to the big one. So this one's a little bit bigger. I'm gonna grab this big guy right there. And you're gonna see how it fits in there. Nice, snug. It's not moving around in there. You can kind of see it. When you have that, I'm sorry if it's a little shaky. In comparison with that, how much more that's moving around there. That's how you break tips. All right, let's move on to some of these specialties. So I told you I wasn't gonna go into these 11 in ones and all that, and 13 in ones. We're gonna go over that real quick. So what I really like about these is you just take them apart. You can use it for that. And I'll do a whole video on this as well. But I just want to show you the specialty screws and whatnot. Fits right in there. And again, we're driving. Let's move that down a hair. That's a square tip. This is a star tip. So we're going to put that one right in there. Fits really good. And you can see it moving. And for demonstration purposes, I'm just going to show you this bigger bit. It slides in here. It's not designed for it, but I'm not doing a whole lot of torque in it. Just for demonstration purposes, we're just showing the fit, how it's in there, it's moving, it's snug, and how it doesn't fit into that one. And that's really it. I just wanted to kind of properly show people how to fit a screwdriver to the proper screw, bolt, or flathead specialties. And again, I'm gonna go over all this stuff in other videos, the different types, like I showed you the 11 and 13 in ones, some of the specialty ones. But anyways, I hope you learned something new. I hope I saved you some money. I hope it explained a lot, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you.